welcome back to Lone Wolf: Flight from the Dark, second attempt. Last time I played this was like maybe 2 years ago, and I was using the browser version, which still exists and you can still play it, but they've made a web app, which is just kind of a bit more user-friendly than the browser version on Project Eon website. So let's try this out. It looks cool and it looks less fiddly. Hello, Amaro. Are you playing all 31? Are you familiar with the Lone Wolf books? If I can make it to all 31, sure. But last time I played this, I died in book 2. And back then I was saying, like, I would do it permadeath, so I would start from the entire beginning. If I die, then I read a bit, and apparently you shouldn't really do that because some of the books, even if you do every option completely correct, you can just lose, you could just die due to RNG. So it won't be permadeath. If I die on a book, I'll start the book from scratch. That's the way you're supposed to play it. But I won't start the entire series from scratch. Because last time we died in book 2. I think I was towards the end of it. And I died to something stupid, and I don't think I ever fully understood what I was missing. Like, I was missing something at some point, and then I just died. So, for those that don't know, Lone Wolf, or Kai Chronicles, which is kind of the greatest series, is a game book, which is like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but you're not supposed to call them choose-your-own-adventures, because choose-your-own-adventure is a trademark for a specific brand, brand of books that were made by the company that made them. The generic term for them is game book. And there's loads of these game books, but not many have been adapted to digital, so you kind of have to get the paper copy. I'll try to find more of them, but like usually you have to buy them. This one is available for free legally, and Project Aeon has kind of like archived them all, and that's what I'm using now. When I was a kid, I had a sci-fi one, and I don't remember the name of it, and I haven't been able to find it. Maybe ChatGPT will be able to find it. But it was pretty cool, because I remember it was like, you had like a science officer and a military officer, and then you go around space and you make decisions, and they could die and could get guns. I don't remember what it was called, and I'll try to find it. But they're pretty fun. So this one, the book, had this weird RNG system, so you didn't roll a dice, because they wanted it to be you just need the book and nothing else. Well, a pencil, I guess. So they had a big table of values, or maybe we can even find it here. No, they probably won't use it, because it's kind of stupid. I didn't really like it, but basically it was like a big table, like a grid of values, and you were supposed to kind of close your eyes and hold your pencil above it, and then plop it down on a number, and whatever number you plop it down on, that was the roll. But it was kind of stupid because it wasn't very uniform or reliable RNG, and after a while you probably would kind of actually get good at rigging it without even wanting to, so... But we'll use computer generation for the RNG. Yeah, these are all this series. This book was published in 1984, and it went on for quite a long time. I don't know when. It might have been by different authors as well. I don't know. Is the music still playing? And I've got a few Witcher soundtracks because it seemed quite fitting. So, let's begin. Alright, we've got lots of reading. With this, so we've got like settings and stuff. It's got the source code here. That's cool. Like I could even make my own like kind of like program that does something like this. I'll read the rules in a minute. You can save your game locally. Nice. There was an option to change the RNG method. It was manual, so I guess you would just roll your own dice or do the pencil thing if you wanted to, but I'm gonna let it do computer generated. Oh, and this is our chart. Alright, let's begin then. The story so far. No audiobook option? Not with this, no. But lots of people have made various... There was an Android app for this, and there was... People have made... Because it's like free to use... Well, no, you have to get permission from them to make an app based on it, but like the permission is available. So I think there have been several different apps, even like a proper game for an old computer system. Alright. In the northern land of Sommerland, it has been the custom for many centuries to send the children of the warrior lords to the monastery of Kai. There they are taught the skills and disciplines of their noble fathers. The Kai monks are masters of their art, and the children in their charge love and respect them in spite of the hardships of their training. For one day, when they have finally learned the secret skills of the Kai, they will return to their homes equipped in mind and body to defend themselves against the constant threat of war from the Dark Lords of the West. I kind of want to look at a map. I think they'll show us a map in a minute. In olden times, during the Age of the Black Moon, the Dark Lords waged war on Sommerland. Conflict was a long and bitter trial of strength that ended in victory for the Somlending at the Great Battle of Markengorge. King Ulnar and the allies of Durinor broke the Darkland armies at the pass of Moitura and forced them back into the bottomless abyss of Markengorge. Vashna, mightiest of the Dark Lords, was slain upon the sword of King Ulnar, called Summersword, the Sword of the Sun. Since that age, the Dark Lords have vowed vengeance upon Summerland and the House of Ulnar. That reminded me of Black Moon Chronicles. That was a fun game. Is that another game book? Now it is the morning of the Feast of Ferman. No, RTS. Oh, okay. Where all of the Kai Lords are present at the monastery for the celebrations. Okay, let me just reread that last paragraph. Alright. Suddenly, a great black cloud comes from out of the western skies. So many are the numbers of the black-winged beasts that fill the sky that the sun is completely hidden. The Dark Lords, ancient enemy of the Somlending, are attacking. War has begun. On this fateful morning, you, Silent Wolf, the name given to you by the Kai, have been sent to collect firewood in the forest as a punishment for your inattention in class. As you are preparing to return, you see to your horror a vast cloud of black, leathery creatures swoop down and engulf the monastery. Dropping the wood, you race to the battle that has already begun, but in the unnatural dark, you stumble and strike your head on a low tree branch. As you lose consciousness, the last thing that you see in the poor light is the walls of the monastery crashing to the ground. Many hours pass before you awake. With tears in your eyes, you now survey the scene of destruction. Let me change the track to something a bit more somber, creepy or something. Many hours pass before you awake. With tears in your eyes, you now survey the scene of destruction. Raising your face to the clear sky, you swear vengeance on the Dark Lords for the massacre of the Kai warriors, and with a sudden flash of realization, you know what you must do. You must set off on a perilous journey to the capital city to warn the king of the terrible threat that now faces his people. for you are now the last of the Kai. You are now the lone wolf. Alright, skim through this. You will not need to write by hand on the action chart. Okay, because we had to write a fair bit when I was using the browser version. Each time you see a blue bold text like this, it's an action. Okay. Non-bold blue text like this are links to other places. Alright. So we can switch to the action chart at any time. During your training as a Kai Lord, you have developed fighting prowess, combat skill, and physical stamina endurance. Before you set off on your adventure, you need to measure how effective your training has been. To do this, take a pencil and with your eyes closed, point with the blunt end of it onto the random number 10 table, blah blah blah. Okay, so we're not going to do this. We just click this. Our combat skill is 12. What was it out of? What was the... Add 10 to the number you picked, so it would have been a... I don't know, what, Can we... Do they have... I would like to look at the, random number table. I'd have to go to Project Eon website to do that. Let's see. Aeon Kai Chronicles. It will be in the book itself. You can download the books. You can download like the browser version, so you can run it locally if you want to. Here it is. Ah, so it goes from 0 to 9. So it's supposed to be a dice roll between 0 and 9. It's good to keep in mind. So we got a 2. That's pretty bad. But we'll adapt. Now let's get our endurance. 26. Okay, not bad. Let's check the action chart. Current is 8, original 12. Oh, because we've got no weapon. Alright. If you are wounded in combat, you will lose endurance points. If at any time your endurance points fall to 0 or below, you are dead and the adventure is over. Lost endurance points can be regained during the course of the adventure, but your number of endurance points can never go above the number with which you start your adventure. Kai disciplines. Over the centuries, the Kai monks have mastered the skills of the warrior. Let's change the music now. To something a bit more... Just go back to this one. You have learnt only 5 of the skills listed below. The choice of which 5 skills these are is for you to make. As all of the disciplines may be of use to you at some point on your perilous quest, pick your 5 with care. The correct use of a discipline at the right time can save your life. When you've chosen your 5 disciplines, enter them in the Kai disciplines section of your action chart. Alright, so if we keep in mind that we've got a kind of a bad combat skill, but a decent endurance, that might matter. Like, hello Stormy. Long stream looks like. Depends. You could die quickly in this. Can't remember how long it took me. I got to book 2 last time I tried this, and then I died towards the end of book 2. But then I guess I'll just restart if I die. If you choose the skill right, camouflage. Alright, so camouflage is probably good if our combat sucks. I mean, it said you started the stream like 6 hours ago. Oh, I did a Titanfall 2 run 6 hours ago, yeah. That lasted only a couple of hours, though. I just started a new stream now. We just started this book. We're still in the bit which is explaining how the book works. Have you ever seen any of these game books before? I had a couple when I was a kid, but not this one. I didn't know anything about this particular series, but this series is freely distributable, so you can play it online and people have made apps out of it. Most of these books, though, they don't have any license, so you can't legally play a digital copy of them, but you can use... Well, I mean, if you own the book, then you could. But I don't know of any easy way to get hold of those. But this site has a lot of the books from this particular author. The only one I really played as a kid was this sci-fi one, which I don't know the name of, and I'll have to try and find. See if I can find like a scanned version of it. There was also a Lemmings one, I remember. And it was interesting because you had a number of Lemmings. It was based on the Lemmings franchise. And you had a number of Lemmings, and like certain things you did would lose Lemmings or gain Lemmings. But it had like a kind of gamebook story to it as well. And you would turn between the pages. That was pretty cool. And then, of course, there's the Choose Your Own Adventure books, but that's like a specific trademark. That's why they're called game books and not Choose Your Own Adventure books, but most people kind of casually call them Choose Your Own Adventure books. The Goosebumps had a few of those as well. Alright. Camouflage sounds good. This skill ensures that a Kylord will never starve in the wild. He'll always be able to hunt for food for himself, except in areas of wasteland and desert. Able to move stealthily when stalking his prey. Sounds useful. Sixth Sense. If you're just talking about the ones that were only picking your path, yeah, I played a ton of those. Yeah, those ones I guess were more basic. They didn't have you like tracking HP and inventory and stuff like that. But the sci-fi one I played was a proper game book. Like you had pages where you kept track of your science officer and his skills and his like HP and your like bodyguard and stuff like that. Tracking. Healing. Healing sounds like you should just always have it. I think without a doubt I'll probably take healing. Wait, so we can choose 5? Alright, so healing is probably a definite yes. Wait, so you add +1 every numbered section of the book in which you are not involved in combat. I assume this app actually just does that for you. Cool. Weapon skill. I think it goes without saying we take a weapon skill. If you pick the axe... Wait. Okay, we don't choose the weapon, you have to roll for it. If we get the axe skill, then we would actually... Well, we start with an axe either way, apparently. So, Mind Shield. Prevents you from losing any endurance points when subjected to, like, a mind attack. Okay. Mind Blast. Adds 2 extra points to your combat skill. I mean, Mind Blast might be good to make up for our low combat roll. I think I rolled a 2 out of possible 9. Animal Kinship. Okay. Communicate with some animals and guess the intentions of some others, alright. Mind over Matter. Move small objects with his powers of concentration. If you successfully complete the mission as set in Book 1, you may add a further Kai discipline of your choice to your action chart in Book 2. Alright. I think definitely take healing. I think definitely take weapon skill. I think you just should. We got broadsword, okay. Think camouflage. Sixth Sense sounds like it just might be useful all the time, or often. I think I'll go with Mind Blast because, like, we've got bad combat skill, we might as well try and enhance it a bit. I've chosen 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna choose one more. So it's hunting. Good for not starving. I mean, that sounds like it could be useful throughout the entire series. I don't know. Tracking. I think it'll be between Sixth Sense and hunting. Let me read Sixth Sense again. May warn a Kai Lord of imminent danger. It may also reveal the true purpose of a stranger or strange object encountered in your adventure. We'll try Sixth Sense and just hope I don't starve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are dressed in the green tunic and cloak of a Kai initiate. You have little with you to arm yourself for survival. All you possess is an axe and a backpack containing 1 meal. Hanging from your waist is a leather pouch containing gold crowns. I should be clicking this, right? We've got 4 gold crowns. Okay. You discover amongst the smoking ruins of the monastery a map of Summerland. So we can just switch to it any time. Where are we? Here, on the west side of Magnamund at the Kai Monastery. And we're supposed to get to Hammerthal to warn the king? Okay. You also find one of the following. I guess we roll for this. Chainmail waistcoat. Okay. 4 endurance points to your total. So it's just like a buffer. To your max endurance. Okay. So, weapons carried in the hand, helmets worn on the head, food is put in the backpack. That's worn on the body. Okay. How much can you carry? The maximum number of weapons that you may carry is 2. Backpack items must be stored in your backpack. You can only keep a maximum of 8 articles, including meals, in your backpack. Ooh. Okay. That's making me feel like hunting would have been quite important, actually. Special items have a special circumstances, alright. It will hold a maximum of 50 crowns. We're only allowed that much money. Food is carried in your backpack. Each meal counts as 1 item. Alright. Weapons aid you in combat. If you have the Kai Discipline of Weapon skill and the correct weapon, it adds 2 points to your combat skill. If you enter combat with no weapons, it's -4. And if we don't have the skill for a specific weapon, then it's kind of like a 0. Alright. Better than -4 though. If you do not have any food when you're instructed to eat a meal, you lose 3 endurance points. If you're chosen the discipline of hunting... Okay. Healing potion can restore 4 endurance points. Alright. Rules for combat. Some of this we don't actually need to read because it's auto-computing this. But we can just get a sense for what it's doing behind the scenes. So you get a combat skill total with all the factors, including your weapon and stuff. You subtract the combat skill of your enemy from this total. Your combat ratio. So like if it's positive, that means you're stronger than them, and if it's negative, I guess you're weaker. Alright. And that's basically what, a plus modifier to the random number, which is between 0 and 9. Yeah. No. Oh, no. Let me read this bit again. Oh, it applies a formula. So given a combat ratio, you're in one column, and then depending on what you roll from 0 to 9, it'll tell you how much damage is done. Okay. You may be given the chance to evade combat. If you have already engaged in a round of combat and decide to evade, calculate the combat for that round in the usual manner. All points lost by the enemy as a result of that round are ignored, and you make your escape. So you still take the damage that they would do to you, but the enemy doesn't take damage and you escape. Alright. Let me take a look at what that actually looks like. Random number table. Not random number table. What am I looking at? Combat results table. So it's like... So when it's 0, you're evens. So... it behaves like you're doing kind of like... Ah, I see. Wait, so the top left triangle is what is done to the enemy, and the bottom right is what is done to you. So if you're evens with the enemy, like you have the same combat skill, and you roll a 1, which is bad, then they'll do... Then you do 3 to the enemy, and they do 5 to you. But if you roll up to a 9, oh, a 0, I guess it kind of means a 10. Then you do 12 and they don't hurt you. So if you roll like above 7, they wouldn't hurt you at all. But if you're negative, then it's quite bad for you. K just means you just automatically die. And if you're in the positive, then you'll generally do quite a good amount of damage to them. But as a general rule of thumb, if you roll a random number past like 7, you often won't take any damage. Alright, it's good to know roughly how the numbers work. Alright. Levels of Kai training. You begin the Lone Wolf adventures with this level of Kai training, Initiate. Okay. The honor and memory of the Kai Lords will go with you on your perilous journey. Good luck. Alright, we start. We change the track. You must make haste, for you sense it is not safe to linger by the smoking remains of the ruined monastery. The Black-Winged... Oh yeah, so story so far is that we were training in the monastery to become a Kai monk. And then when we went away to collect firewood, we turned around and a whole bunch of dark winged creatures attacked and killed everyone in the monastery, and we're the only one left. And we have to go warn the king. And these dark lords apparently are attacking Sommerland because of a vengeance from some war that happened a long time ago, where they were beaten. Alright. The black-winged beasts could return at any moment. You must set out for the Somlending capital of Holmgard and tell the king the terrible news of the massacre. That the whole elite of Kai warriors, save yourself, have been slaughtered. Without the Kai Lords to lead her armies, Sommerland will be at the mercy of their ancient enemy, the Dark Lords. Fighting back tears, you bid farewell to your dead kinsmen. Silently, you promise that their deaths will be avenged. You turn away from the ruins and carefully descend the steep track. At the foot of the hill, the path splits into 2 directions, both leading into a large wood. If you wish to use your Kai discipline of Sixth Sense... We did pick that, didn't we? I think we should use it then. +1 endurance point. Well, we're full, aren't we? Oh. Oh, so the waistcoat added 4 to our max. So we started at 26. not 30. We didn't start at our max. I guess that's how it works, okay. Let me make sure this is all like... We've selected the axe. Yeah. Got 4 gold crowns. We can make notes here. Your sixth sense has warned you that some of the creatures that attacked the monastery are searching the 2 paths for any survivors of their raid, but you can avoid both tracks by making your way through the undergrowth of the woods. If you wish to head south, turn to 56. Or if you wish to cut through the heavier foliage towards the northeast. So if I pick head south, they're talking about... Either way, they're talking about, this... avoiding both tracks. Okay, turn to 56. I don't know about cutting through the heavier foliage. You hear the scream of a large winged beast above the trees. It is a Kran, a deadly servant of the Dark Lords. Quickly you hide beneath the thick fronds of fern until the horrible shrieks have passed away. As you go on, you discover a forest path that divides at the point you join it. We don't have tracking. Take the East Fork. In the center of a small clearing, you see a group of humans talking excitedly and gesturing wildly with their hands. There are 2 children, 3 men, and a woman. Their belongings are wrapped in bundles, which they carry slung over their shoulders. Their clothes look well made and expensive, but they are dirty and torn. If you wish to approach them and ask who they are... Yeah, sure. We need all the help we can get. Let's talk to them. As you approach, the group of people stop talking. You can see by their expressions that they recognize your green Kai cloak. Slowly, one of the men extends his hand in friendship and says, "My lord, we had heard a rumor that the Kai were destroyed. Heaven be praised that it is not so. We feared all was lost." You do not tell them of the destruction of the monastery, for they are refugees from Toran and have lost everything they owned. Their only hope now is that the Kai Lords will lead an army to victory. You learn that the northern port was attacked from both air and sea, and that the forces of the Dark Lords far outnumbered the King's brave garrison. You reassure them that Summerland will not fall and wish them luck on their journey ahead. You have reached a small bridge. The track follows the stream towards the east. A much narrower path disappears into thick forest towards the south. Oh, we can use Sixth Sense again. Yokai's Sixth Sense warns there's a fierce battle raging in the south. Your Common Sense tells you that the south is also the quickest route to the capital. So, there's quicker route to the capital, but there's also battle raging. Then I will avoid it. Oh, go east. After a few hundred yards, the path joins another one running north to south. If you wish to head south, well, we want to go south overall, don't we? So hopefully this won't run us into the battle. Have we gone east far enough? After a few minutes walking, you find a mossy hut set back from the path. You are hungry and must eat a meal here or lose 3 endurance points. As you eat, you notice that the path starts to curve towards the east. So they have these like footnotes as well, which are like addendums that came out like errata that were published. Did I come from... Well, okay, we eat a backpack meal either way. Either way, I'll... well, no. Yeah, I do want to keep going. I don't want to return to where I came from, so... Oh, I think they programmed it so it accounts for this. So what is written here is correct. Okay, we'll follow it. You follow the track for nearly an hour when you come to a crossroads. East, north, south, west. Roughly, we're going, like, south... We want to stop off at Holmgard. Oh, no, we're not going to Hammerfell. We're going to Holmgard. The goal of this book, or at least that's what they told us the goal, is to get to Holmgard. This is just like a big world. Alright. I guess we generally want to go east then. Like, we might end up reaching the coast. Let's go east. You soon reach another crossroads. East again? In the distance, you can hear the sound of horses galloping nearer. You crouch behind a tree and wait as the riders come closer. They are the cavalry of the King's Guard wearing the white uniforms of His Majesty's army. If it's the King's Guard, and we're wearing the Kai cloak, they should be willing to hear from us. Let's call them. The officer orders his men to halt and asks you your business. You tell him who you are and how the monastery has been destroyed. He is deeply saddened to hear your news. He offers you a horse and asks you to accompany him to Prince Pelathar, the king's son. Well, that's very useful, I accept. Ahead of you, you can see a fierce battle raging across a stone bridge. Should we put some combat music on? So I've got music for fighting humans and music for fighting monsters. What are we fighting here? Well, it looks like there are monsters. We'll take the monsters music. That is a Gorgaz, wielding a black axe above its scaly head. Suddenly the prince falls wounded, a black arrow in his side. If you wish to defend the fallen prince, oh god. That looks scary to fight. We do have a decent amount of health though. Oh, we're at full health because we healed. We don't have... We're not trained in the axe, but I mean, it's something. I think we'll try and fight it. Given we're at full health, probably should. The creature that you now face is a Gorgaz, one of a race of cold-blooded reptilian creatures that dwell deep in the treacherous Markenmire swamps. Their favorite food is human flesh. Prince's sword lies at your feet. You may pick up and use this weapon if you wish. Wait, is it a broadsword? It's a sword, not a broadsword. That's a different thing, isn't it? But I'll use it. Set it to sword, but it doesn't. I don't think it makes a difference. Our weapon skill is broadsword. Combat ratio -8. And he's immune to Mind Blast. Oh. We don't have any choice. We have to fight. We can't escape. This is just... Oh, so you can look at... Oh, nice. It shows you the tables if you want to kind of... So at -8... We're like here, so... We roll around the middle, would do roughly the same damage to him. Okay, it's not terrible, but... do we know how much health he's got? He's got 30 health, the same as us, so... Statistically, we're gonna die here. Alright. Okay, are we? -8. So at the high end, we do that much damage. Statistically, we're gonna die here. I think he's got the edge over us. Alright, they turn. We did 2 damage. He did 6 to us. Do I have a healing potion? No. Alright, nothing we can do. We just have to, Oh, we did 6 to us. We did 1 to him. Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh no. Oh no. We die. Game over. Our ratio was -8. We did have pretty bad combat skill. I think we probably just should be avoiding fighting unless our combat skill is like... If our combat skill was like... if our combat skill was, say... our combat skill was... Let me look at this again. 14. And that's because we rolled a 2, which is like the second worst number. So if we had rolled with somewhere in the middle, which would have been like... I can't see the table now. Like, let's say we rolled a 6, then it would have been 4 better, so we would have been -4 instead of -8. So on the -4 table, it would have been like this. Yeah, and we would have been statistically likely to win, because at the high end, we're doing like 7, 8, 9, 10 damage, and he's hardly hurting us. And at the low end, he's hurting us, but it's still towards... Okay. If you're bad at combat, don't fight. That's the lesson learned. Alright. Let's try this again. I'm gonna choose different paths and stuff. Alright, story so far. Blah 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 blah. Combat skill is 10. Oh no, that's the bad. Because that's after you've added 10. We rolled a 0. Oh my god. That's the worst. I thought we got the best. Nope, we got the worst combat skill possible. 7 decent endurance points. Don't expect a game from 1984 to be balanced in your favor, yeah. First time I ever played this, I did actually win it. First time. Well, okay. We really do not want to be doing any combat. Let's go camouflage again. Sixth Sense proved to be useful. Healing we'll need as well. Weapon skill. Do we want to change something? Now, if we're trying to avoid combat altogether, maybe healing is not that important, or I don't know. Like, if we fight, we're gonna die, for sure, almost for sure. So we should be avoiding combat altogether, in which case we wouldn't really need healing. I don't know, we probably should always just take healing. How about, instead of... Wait, if we suck at combat, then why would I even take a weapon skill? I don't know. Because until we get a weapon which matches our skill, we wouldn't even be using this weapon skill. So basically, we're not really benefiting from that +2 until we get the weapon that matches our skill, unless we're lucky. So let's actually not take weapon skill this time. So it's camouflage, sixth sense, healing. Go for mind blast again, even though that enemy was immune to it. Let's try something different. Hunting. Let's try that. We got an axe. Oh. Oh. Well, that's... Oh, no. Yeah, you always get an axe to begin with. We've got 8 crowns. Maybe we can bribe our way to safety. And... you got a helmet. Alright. What does the helmet do? +2. Alright. Not as good as the chainmail. Alright. Starting again. We'll use the sixth sense. We try cutting through the heavier foliage. You have cut your way through the thick undergrowth for nearly half an hour when you hear the beat of wings high above the trees. Looking up, you can just make out the shape of a Kran approaching from the north. It is one of the monsters that attacked the monastery, and on its back are 2 grey-skinned creatures armed with long spears. These are mountain gyaks, evil servants of the Dark Lords, full of hatred and malice. Many centuries ago, their ancestor were used by the Dark Lords to build the infernal city of Helgadad, which lies in the volcanic wastelands beyond the Dern Crag range of mountains. The construction of the city was long and torturous, and only the strongest of the Gyaks survived the heat and poisonous atmosphere of Helgadad. Hidden by the trees, you freeze, keeping absolutely still as the Kran passes overhead and disappears towards the south. When you are sure that it is gone, you move off once again into the forest. Okay, we managed to hide. We still haven't used camouflage. You have covered about a quarter of a mile when you hear shouting and a noise like thunderclaps ahead. Edging nearer, you soon make out a clearing that you recognize to be the site of the ruins of Raumas, an ancient forest temple. A war party of Gyaks, some 25 to 30 strong, are attacking the ruins from all sides. Uh-oh. Put a tune on. Many more of the Gyaks are dead or dying among the broken pillars of marble, but still they assault whatever is hidden inside. Suddenly a bolt of blue lightning rips through the front rank of Gyaks, sending the armor-clad creatures tumbling in all directions. A Gyak? Maybe Gyak, taller than the others and dressed from head to foot in black chainmail, curses at his troops as he whips them forward with a barbed flail. With weapon ready, you move to the edge of the clearing. I don't want to fight. Under cover of the thick foliage, and try to catch a glimpse of the defenders. To your amazement, the ruins are being defended by a young man, no older than yourself. You recognize his sky blue robes, embroidered with stars. He is a young Theurgist of the Magician's Guild of Toran, an apprentice in magic. 5 Gyaks charge forward, their spears raised to stab the apprentice as he hurriedly retreats deeper into the ruins. You see him turn and raise his left hand just before a bolt of blue flame shoots from his fingertips into the snarling Gyak soldiers. Close to where you are hidden, you see a Gyak scuffle past and climb one of the pillars of the temple. He has a long curved dagger in his mouth and he is about to jump on the young wizard standing below. Oh boy. I don't want to attack him. Shouting a warning will give me away, but if the wizard survives, maybe he'll be able to help me. Pick up a chunk of temple marble and throw it at the Jack's head. Am I good at throwing? It's not really a skill related to throwing, but that might make it harder for them to actually know where I am. Alright, let's do that. Pick a number from the random number table. 5. The numbers 3 to 9 turn to 2, 8, 5. Hopefully that's good. With a sickening thud, the chunk of marble cracks open the back of the Jack's head. The creature drops to its knees and slowly falls forward, down to the ruins below. Elated by your skill, you race forward to aid the young wizard. I didn't want to do that. Upon seeing you emerge from the woods, the Jack officer shouts, "Ogot! Ogot!" to his cowering troops, who flee the ruins and run for the safety of the forest. Shaking his mailed fist at you, the black-clad Jack screams, "Raning drogag ok, ogadaka okak drogag gaj," before leaving. Surveying the scene of battle, you count over 15 Jack dead lying among the broken pillars of Ramus. The young wizard wipes his brow and walks towards you, his hand extended in friendship. Okay. He is a young, blonde-haired youth with deep, brooding eyes. His face is lined with exhaustion and the grime of battle, and his long, sky-blue robes was music. Bear evidence of living rough in the wilds. He shakes your hand and bows. My eternal thanks, Kai Lord. My powers are nearly drained. Had you not come to my aid, I fear I would have ended my days atop a Jack lance. He is weak and unsteady on his feet. You take his arm and sit him down upon a fallen pillar where you listen intently to what he has to say. My name is Banadon. I am journeyman to the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star, which is the Magician's Guild of Toran. My guildmaster has sent me to your monastery with this urgent message. He removes a vellum envelope from inside his robes and hands it to you. As you see, I have opened the letter and read its contents. When the war started, I was on the highway with 2 traveling companions. The Kran attacked us and we lost each other in the forest during our escape. The letter is a warning to the Kai Lords that the Dark Lords have mustered a vast army beyond the Durnkrag range. The Guildmaster urges the Kai to cancel the celebrations of Fairman and prepare for war. I fear we were betrayed, says Banadon, his head bowed in sorrow. One of my order, a brother called Vonotar, had explored the forbidden mysteries of the Black Art. 10 days ago he denounced the Brotherhood and killed one of our elders. He has since disappeared. It is rumored that he now aids the Dark Lords. You tell Banadon what has happened at the monastery and of your mission to warn the king. Silently, he removes a gold chain from around his neck and hands it to you. On the chain is a small crystal star pendant. It is the symbol of my brotherhood, and we are both truly brothers in this hour of darkness. It is a talisman of good fortune. May it protect you on your road ahead. Onotar is the traitor who probably led the winged creatures to the monastery as well, maybe. You thank him, place the chain around your neck, and slip the crystal star inside your shirt. A little note here says... Okay, so it may be useful later on as well. Banadon bids you farewell. Okay, it's marked in our action chart. We must leave this place lest the Jiaks return with more of their loathsome kind to put an end to us. I must return to my guild. I bid you farewell, my brother. May the luck of the gods go with you. With a wave of his hand, Banadon leaves the ruins and you continue your mission, pushing on through the thick woods ahead. You have not gone far when you realize several pairs of yellow eyes are watching you from the undergrowth to your left. Suddenly, a black arrow skims the top of your head. It is a Jack ambush, and you must run as fast as you can to escape it. Oh god. As you race through the trees, you can hear the horrible cackle of the Jacks close behind you. Soon the trees start to thin out, and directly ahead you can see a rocky hillside. If you break cover and climb up the hill, or we can change direction and continue your run through the forest. I think we need the cover of the forest. I don't think the Jacks will have any problem climbing the hillside. They seem quite nimble. I think we've got to run through the forest. The mountain Jacks are unaccustomed to pursuing their prey through forests. Nice. And you soon outdistance them, until finally the sound of their grunts and curses disappears completely. When you're satisfied that they have given up the chase, you stop for a few minutes to catch your breath and check your equipment. With the memory of your ruined monastery still blazing in your mind, you gather up your meager belongings and push on. Just ahead through the tall trees, you can see clumps of dark red gallowbrush, a thorny briar with sharp crimson barbs. The common name for this forest weed is sleep-tooth, for the thorns are very sharp and can make you feel weak and sleepy if they scratch your skin. So we can go through the briars, but we probably risk pricking ourselves, and that'll make us weak and sleepy. I think we'll avoid the sleep-tooth then. Keeping a watchful eye on the sky above, you move quickly along the track. You recall that this route leads to Fogwood, a small cluster of huts that have been used by a family of charcoal burners for nearly 50 years. After 20 minutes, you reach the edge of a clearing where the huts are grouped in a small circle. There is no sign of the usual mist of wood smoke which gives Fogwood its apt name, and the huts are unusually quiet. You prepare your weapon and stealthily approach the huts. Through the open doorway of the first hut, you can see the body of a charcoal burner lying face down on the rough stone floor. He has been murdered, stabbed in the back by a spear. All of his furniture and belongings have been smashed and broken, and not one piece remains intact. This is the evil handiwork of Jacks, without any doubt. They delight in the destruction of all things. A quick check of the other huts reveals a similar story of murder and wreckage. In the last hut that you search, you discover Jack's spear, proof of your suspicions. You may keep this weapon if you wish. Sure, why not? More determined than ever now to succeed in your mission, you continue along the track. In the distance, perched on the branch of an old oak tree, is a jet black raven. We can't talk to it. As you approach, the black bird flies off above the trees and soon disappears from view. You search the tree on which it was perched, but find nothing unusual. Rather than waste any more precious time, you continue off along the track. After a few minutes walking, you see a stranger, clad in red, standing in the center of the track ahead. He has his back towards you, and his head is covered by the hood of his robes. Perched on his outstretched arm is the black raven that you saw earlier. Unless we have reason to believe like he's that traitor or something, I'm not afraid of this guy. Let's approach him cautiously. You have taken less than 10 paces when the raven squawks a warning to the stranger. Turning to face you, the robed creature utters a pierced screech that freezes your blood and grips your stomach with fear and panic. It is a Vordak, a lieutenant of Dark Lords and one of the undead. Within seconds, a host of Jacks appear at its side and attack you. You fight bravely, but you are greatly outnumbered. The last thing you remember is the icy grasp of the Vordak's skeletal fingers as they close around your throat. You don't even do combat here, you just die. Alright. Note for the future. A mysterious figure with a raven. It's probably a Dark Lord. Jeez. It's a Vordak. Let's begin again. It always felt like a major victory when I managed to get a successful path in one of those books. So our bad combat skill didn't even matter because we just outright got killed. Should have gone for animal hawking thingy skill. I can change things up a bit. I could try that, and then maybe we won't even encounter any animals that time. Thing is, that raven served the Dark Lord, so talking to it probably could have made things worse. I don't know. We got 0 again. Oh my god. Okay, terrible combat again. Average endurance. Alright, we never even used camouflage. Even though there were situations I feel like camouflage made sense. Alright. What about... Alright, so again, I won't pick weapon skill because we're just trying to avoid combat. Did I pick Mind Blast like last time? I won't choose Mind Blast. Let's try and be a bit more defensive. Could go with Animal Kinship. Try it out. I think Sixth Sense we should stick with. Tracking? Try tracking. We've chosen 3. Mind Shield? Thing is, like, why would we be using Mind Shield? Because we're trying to avoid combat. We're assuming if we get into combat, we're basically dead anyway, so maybe I shouldn't take Mind Shield. Well, there might be situations where... I don't know. We're just trying our best to avoid combat. I mean, camouflage still makes sense, even though we didn't encounter any situations. We'll go with camouflage again. Camouflage, Sixth Sense. We're trying to be as a, like... Hunting also kind of makes sense, but we'll go with tracking instead. Camouflage, Sixth Sense, tracking. Animal Kinship. Should I go with healing again? Yeah, I'll go with healing again. Oh no, I don't know. Mind over Matter, the telekinesis. Sure, let's try that. We got a meal, we got an axe, we got a map. Okay, this is what you always get, and then we get 5 gold crowns and a chainmail waistcoat. What would we want the most? Probably a healing potion or even some gold crowns, maybe to help us bribe our way through things. If we're avoiding combat, I don't think we even really want a chainmail waistcoat. We just want things which will help us avoid combat. Alright, let's go. Alright. Use Sixth Sense again. Up through the heavier foliage, that worked out last time. So we cut through the heavy foliage, and then we kind of hide from the crown. And then it disappears. Ah. We reach the magician again. That throwing the marble worked out, so let's do that again. But like there's like a 1 in 5 chance of probably it screwing up. I don't know, let's try it. Okay, we got the good roll again. Killed the jack. Then they all run away. The young wizard, and then there's a whole bunch of text here. We meet the young wizard. He gives us the crystal star pendant. That might be useful. Now we continue. And now we're running from the ambush. We don't want to go up the mountains because we know they're mountain jacks, so that would just be stupid. We'll go through the forest. This is going exactly as it did before. Alright, so we reached the Sleep Tooth. We have tracking. You are very near a friendly village. Avoid the Galabrush and turn to 272. Keeping a watchful eye on the sky above, you move quickly along the track. Oh, we've been on this page before. So this is where we are near Fogwood. Oh, is it on the map? Zoom it in. So we started at the monastery. No, the map isn't detailed enough. Okay. Okay, so we'll use the tracking ability. Using your skills, you detect jack tracks around the perimeter of the clearing. The prints are fresh, and you can tell that these cruel minions of the Dark Lords were in this area less than 2 hours ago. Forewarned by this knowledge if you decide to investigate the huts. Yeah, we'll investigate the huts. I mean, we know that jacks have left already. Get the spear. Carry on. The Raven. Shall we talk to the bird? Like, we know he serves the Dark Lord. But maybe we can trick him or something? Alright. We've got the ability, let's try it. Use animal kinship. Head of the bird slowly turns and it curses you. An instant later it flies off above the trees and has soon disappeared. Shocked by what you have heard, you are now sure that the fledgling was a scout of the Dark Lords and is now probably on its way to inform them of your whereabouts. So we should probably change direction and go through the forest. I think the animal kinship helped because it did say we also can learn the intention of animals as well as being able to talk to them. For half an hour or more, you press on through the forest through the rich vegetation and ferns. You happen upon a small, clear stream where you stop for a few minutes to wash your face and drink of the cold, fresh water. Feeling revitalized, you cross the stream and press on. You soon notice the smell of wood smoke, which seems to be drifting towards you from the north. Sure, let's investigate. Carefully parting the dense foliage, you are horrified by the sight that meets you. In a small clearing ahead, 3 jacks have tied a man to a wooden stake and are setting fire to a mass of brushwood bundled at his feet. You recognize this tunic as that of a border ranger, one of the king's men who police the kingdom near the Durnkrag mountains of the west. He has been badly beaten and is nearly unconscious. If you do not, you must attack the jacks now in order to save the ranger's life. I don't want to fight! Oh. Fuck, we've got -4, -3, but they've got low endurance. But you must fight them one at a time. It might not be too bad. Wait, Let me check my... using the axe. It doesn't matter what we use. Just use the axe, why not? We can't opt out of the fight. Alright. Who do we go for first? The one we're worse at? It shouldn't matter. The other guy won't attack us while we're attacking the first one, will they? I don't know. Well, we don't have a choice anyway. Alright, let's go for Jack 1. Go. We need some monsters music. Alright. 4-4. Almost killed him. But we're still going to take damage on this turn. Okay, he's dead. How much health do we have? 15. Not bad. We are probably statistically likely to win this now. We're better ratio against this guy. Ooh. Ouch. That was bad. One more good kick. Come on. Just. Did I take healing? This time I chose not to take healing. Probably a bad decision. I reckon I should just always take healing, really. More so if we intend to actually do combat. No, maybe it's okay not to take healing if we're trying to avoid combat. I don't know. We won. Free the ranger. The man is badly injured and near to death. If you have the high discipline of healing, you may ease the pain of his wounds. Oh, fuck. Yet he has been so seriously hurt he is beyond repair by your skills alone. He soon lapses into unconsciousness. You try to make him as comfortable as possible beneath a large forest oak, before leaving him pressing on through the thick woodland towards the northeast. We didn't even gain anything from saving him. We should have left him to die. That's what I would have chosen to do if I had the option. Well, he would have been burned to death. That's a pretty bad way to go. Still, not my problem. Fatigued by your exertions, you stop to rest for a few minutes at a fallen tree. You notice a large bundle beneath the trunk. Sure. Wrapped in a bundle of women's clothing is a small velvet purse containing 6 gold crowns and a tablet of perfumed soap. You may take these items and continue your journey. Nice. Perfumed soap. You have been trudging through the forest for nearly 2 hours. The nagging fear that you are lost begins to seem a reality. Apart from the occasional cry of a Kran in the far distance, you have seen or heard no evidence that the enemy is in this part of the forest. As you descend a rocky hillock, you see something unusual in the tangled woods ahead. Surrounded by thorny briars and closely packed roots, you see the entrance of a tunnel disappearing into the hillside beyond. It is approximately 7 feet in height and just over 10 feet wide. As you get closer, you can feel a slight breeze coming from the inky blackness. If the other end of this tunnel emerges on the far side of the hill, it could save you many hours of difficult climbing, but it could also harbor unknown danger. Let's think. Like, what would be good in the dark? Okay, camouflage, tracking, sixth sense. Maybe evil animal kinship if there's a bear in there or something. Maybe we should go through the tunnel. Alright, let's go through the tunnel. Oh, fiddlesticks. Combat ratio -10! And he's immune to Mind Blast and animal kinship. Let's read the text, but we're surely dead. The tunnel is dark and the air is much cooler than outside. Carefully advance with one hand on the tunnel wall to aid your sense of direction. You have been in total darkness for 3 minutes when you detect the foul smell of decay ahead, similar to rotting meat. If you have a torch and tinderbox in your pack, you may light the torch to see your way ahead. Oh, so the torch basically makes our combat worse. But not having a torch makes our combat worse. Suddenly something heavy drops from the tunnel ceiling onto your back and you fall to your knees. It is a burrow crawler, and you must fight it, for it is trying to strangle you with its long, slimy tentacles. Oh, it's only got 7 health. It only had 7 health, so we actually stood a chance there. If we had full health. I think definitely we take healing either way next time. Even if we have had combat. Alright, so that wasn't actually... If we would... Better combat, obviously that would help, but even at that ratio, like, I think we stood a chance. He did 6 to us, we did 3 on that turn. Start again. How many deaths have I had? I should use a death counter, shouldn't I? I can't be bothered to keep track. Well, no, okay, I'll keep track. How many deaths? We died once to the fight with the prince, and then I died to the guy with the raven, and then I died to that thing. Was there another death I had? Just 3 deaths? It was, so the first one I had average low combat skill, then I had a 0, and then a 0. Yeah, only 3 deaths. Okay, not terrible. Alright. 4. Average combat skill. Okay. Damn. Terrible endurance points. We should try going for combat, I guess. Since, we can just about fight. So I'll take weapon skill. We've got skill in sword. Alright. We never used camouflage. As soon as I stop taking camouflage, we're gonna need it, aren't we? Alright, we won't take Sixth Sense this time. Even though you can use it on the very first move. Take healing. Which is Mind Over Matter, even though we haven't used it yet. I like the idea of Animal Kingdomship. We're gonna try that again. Then... So this Mind Blast seems... Everything has been immune to it so far. So... I don't know if they're trolling us with Mind Blast, but... All it actually does is add 2 combat skill points during battle. But +2 is good to have. But a lot of things are immune to it, so... I'll go with hunting, maybe. We haven't really used it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So we've got Quarter Star, but we're skilled in swords. We've got lots of money. Alright, let's begin. So, this is the first time we're not using the Sixth Sense. The path splits into 2 directions, both leading into a large wood. Let's go I don't even remember which direction the Sixth Sense went. No, the Sixth Sense took us a different path altogether. Okay, so we'll go left. You have followed this twisting track for about 20 minutes when you hear the beating of wings high above the trees. Oh, we've been here before. Okay, so, yeah. So this thing is flying over us with 2 mountain jacks on top. Pick a random number? Sure. 2. Uh-oh, this is probably the bad one. Oh, nice. This is the good option. You pull up the hood of your green kai cloak and hold your breath as the crown circles above. After a few minutes, you hear the frantic curses of the jacks. The beating of crown wings fades as they disappear towards the west. Your quick reactions have saved you from capture and likely death. You can now return to the track or push on under the cover of the trees. We'll return to the track. Alright, we're near the Fogwood. Yeah, so we cannot get more weapons. Alright, well, we don't want the spear. What weapons do I have? Axe and quarterstaff, okay. And I would like to have... sword. Oh. Like, even though we could talk to the bird, maybe we shouldn't talk to it. Let's try not talking to it. So it flies off. This brings us close to this guy though, so this is probably quite bad. We can either approach cautiously or draw your weapon and attack. Will he still summon the mountain jacks if we just quickly attack him? Will he have time to? Maybe if we ambush him. It'd be a real troll if it still insta-kills you when you try to attack. It's like, you really didn't have a chance. Alright, we'll try and attack. Let me just make sure we're all, like, equipped with whatever... Did I... Did I get everything I was supposed to? What was our special extra thing? Was it extra money? Oh, it was an extra weapon. Quarterstaff. Alright. We'll attack. Combat ratio -1. Not bad. You are only 10 feet away from the robed stranger when the raven squawks a warning to its master, who instantly spins around. You are frozen in your tracks by the hideous apparition of a Vordag, lieutenant of the Dark Lords and one of the undead. You must fight him. Due to the surprise of your attack, you may add 2 points to your combat skill for the first round of combat only. Unless you have the Kai Discipline of Mind Shield, deduct 2 points from your combat skill for the second and subsequent rounds of fighting. Oh fuck, so it's gonna be like... -5 for the rest. Oh no. Uh-oh. Alright, first turn. Whoa! We rolled a crit, basically. No, crit would be a 0. According to the table. But the best possible one is 0. We're in the minus... Oh, now we're at -5, so it's like this table. Which is... not too bad. We might actually win this. I think we're actually likely to win this. Oh! That's bad. Nice. Are we on? 10. Alright, we stand a chance here. Nice. We killed him. As the creature dies, its body slowly dissolves into a vile green liquid. You notice that all of the grass and the plants beneath the smoking fluid are beginning to shrivel and die. A large, valuable-looking gem lies on the ground near to the decaying body. Further along the track, you can see a large war party of Jacks running towards you. Quickly grab the gem. The gem feels incredibly hot and burns your hand. Lose 2 endurance points. You quickly pick it up and with the edge of your pike cloak and slip the Svordak gem into a backpack. A gem that size must be worth hundreds of crowns. Ooh, we're rich! But the Jacks are very close and their arrows whistle past your head as you turn and run to the safety of the forest. As you dash through the thickening trees, the shouts of Jacks begin to fade behind you. You have nearly outdistanced them completely when you crash headlong into a tangle of low branches. Reaching for your weapon, you manage to hack your way through the tangle of wood and twisted branches to the clearer forest beyond. Your cloak is torn in several places and your right leg is badly bruised above the knee. You lose 1 health. But we are healing on these pages, so we're at 12. You have been trudging through the forest for nearly 2 hours. The nagging fear that you are lost begins to seem a reality. Apart from the occasional cry of a crown in the far distance, you have seen or heard no evidence that the enemy is in this part of the forest. Oh, okay, we've been on this part before. If you wish to enter the tunnel. If we enter the tunnel, let's think. That thing would die quite quickly. We're on 13 health, which is kind of low, but I think we'll kill it quickly, so yeah, let's enter the tunnel. Because it only has 7 health, doesn't it? Alright, now we're fighting this. -6 though. Not terrible. Alright. It would have helped to have a torch. Alright, first turn. Alright, we're up to even. There we go then. We are quite damaged though. Got 20 gold crowns? Wait, what is the limit to how much we can carry? Max 50. Okay. We're quite wealthy then. We've got the gem, we've got 28 crowns. The slimy creature lets out a long, ghastly death cry and collapses. You are near to panic and scramble to your feet, grabbing what you think to be your belt from the jaws of the dead beast. You can see light in the far distance and you sprint for it as fast as you can. When you finally emerge into the daylight, you fall onto the leafy ground and fight for breath in painful gasps. Slowly sitting upright, you notice that you are still wearing your belt. You had not lost it after all. What you grabbed from the drawer of the burrow crawler was a leather strap with a small pouch and a sheathed dagger halfway along it. You break open the clasp to find it contains 20 gold crowns. You may take both the dagger and the crowns if you are able to. Dagger is just another weapon, isn't it? We'll leave it. Like, maybe we drop the quarterstaff, take the dagger. I like the idea of having a dagger because it's a nice concealable, sneaky weapon that we're not skilled in. Do we really need the star? Alright, we'll drop the star. Take the dagger. Oh nice, it puts the quarterstaff there. So it puts items on the ground for you to take again. Alright. The forest begins to thin out until finally you can make out a road through the trees ahead. The highway is full of people heading south. Many are wheeling their possessions along on handcarts. If you wish to join the refugees and perhaps learn more of what has happened in the north. Yeah, sure. Uh-oh. The people look tired and hungry. They have come many miles from their burning city. Suddenly you hear the beat of huge wings coming from the north. Kran! Kran! Hide yourselves! The cry goes up all along the road. Just in front of you, a wagon carrying small children breaks down. Its right wheel jammed in a furrow. The children scream in panic. Oh no. How much health have we got? 7. We gotta let the children die. They'll serve as good bait to distract the Kran. I just hope there are no witnesses to us cowardly running from the children. Sweating and out of breath, you part the dense undergrowth to see a Kran hovering above the wagon. 3 ghoulish jacks drop from its back, startling the horses. They advance upon the helpless children with their spears. I can't fight them. I've got 7 health. Or I've got 8 health now. I can't fight jacks. I'm sorry, children. If you want to go deep into the forest, yes, I do. You have not gone far when you hear the sound of battle to the west. Alright, do we want to... So they give us, if I remember correctly, they give us a horse. We have the chance to avoid battle. So I think it's worth meeting with King's Guard. Yeah, we'll meet them. They give us a horse and accompany him to Prince. So we'll do that, but we do not want to fight this thing. What am I on? 12 health, yeah, no. I'll run into the forest. Cow bravely ran away. The sound of battle gradually fades behind you. Suddenly you are pulled to the ground. 3 Drakarim have dropped from a tree above. You struggle, but it is useless, for there are too many of them for you, and they are very strong. The last thing that you hear is the vicious snarls of Drakarim as they raise their spears. Danger reared its ugly head, Sir Hextry turned his tail and fled. Brave, brave Sir Hextry, brave Sir Hextry ran away. Well, all the children are dead, so there are no witnesses. No one knows that we did that. Oh man, this is hard. The first time I ever did this, I did it first try. So that made me assume that book 1 was actually quite easy. Alright. Again. But every time we've been, I'm gonna put up a death counter, shouldn't I? Every time we've been, we've either had terrible combat skill, or just slightly below average combat skill. Like, it would be nice to actually have good combat skill for once. Let's try and make a death counter. What's this? Oh, this. Let's change the text there. This was back when ChatGPT first emerged, and I was seeing whether I could beat it at programming. I think I beat it in 7 puzzles, and ChatGPT beat me in 17. If we did this again now, it would be like 0-25 to ChatGPT every time. It's just way more powerful than it was in the early years. Let's change this. Maybe I should have ChatGPT play this game. It would actually work. You could just, like, literally just download the whole GitHub, or download the whole book, upload it to ChatGPT, have it study the whole thing, and then watch it play. We'll see if it can beat me. I could try that as an experiment sometime. But, hang on. Yeah, okay, that's 4. Alright, let's carry on. Six, above average, I guess. Terrible endurance, alright. I mean, if you take healing, like... Well, yeah, I think I'm always going to take healing. We'll take weapon skill. Mace, okay. Let's try Mind Blast again. I think I encountered a couple of enemies that were... I did encounter an enemy that was using Mind Blast on me. I don't know. Still haven't found a use for camouflage. I'll take it again. Maybe we'll find a use for it. Camouflage, healing, weapon skill. Alright, we'll try Mind Shield, but not Blast. And... Animal Kinship again. This seems quite useful. I remember in the second book you spend a lot of time in the city doing stuff like with humans instead of fighting monsters, which was quite interesting. There was even a casino. And I think I figured out an exploit for just basically farming money from the casino. Like, there was a way you could kind of walk back to the front of the casino so you can just repeat that sequence. I wonder if... Like, it was within the rules as far as I could tell. So, if that comes up again, I could find out if I can actually do it in this. The thing, you can only get up to 50 gold crowns, though, because that's the maximum you're allowed to hold. But it worked. As far as I understood. I think it worked according to the rules, so... Alright. So what do we get here? Chainmail waistcoat. Yeah. It's not very interesting, it's just like a buffer. I'd rather have... Chainmail waistcoat and the helmet just add plus health. I'd rather have... Well, in this case, I'd rather have mace, because that's my skill. Alright. Here we go again. Last time I went left. Try going right. Or did I go right last time? I don't know. We fight this. I don't think we ever actually fought this Fran. Let's fight it. Combat ratio -1, not too bad. But we're not allowed to escape. I think we have the edge here. Even though it's a -1, I think -1 is kind of an edge for us. Alright. Good. Very good. Whoa! Those aren't crits. Look, 0 is a crit. Alright. That was very good. We're basically at full health. We'll heal in like 2 turns. Turns. Will you search the body? What, of the crown itself? Sure. Like, I mean, we could get poisoned or something, but yeah, we'll search the body. Covering your nose with your cloak, you cautiously approach the dead beast. The sharp smell of its fetid black blood makes your stomach churn, but you are determined to press on. Then you notice a large saddlebag strapped to its chest. Opening the bag, you find a message written on an animal skin. Okay. Deeper in the bag is a dagger. You may keep both the message and the dagger if you wish. Sure. Are we actually going to be able to look at that again? Because I remember this does have puzzles, and sometimes you have to use what you see in the image to solve them. So if I look at this... Oh, nice. It actually brings it up. Okay, so we have that to refer to if we find some sort of cipher for actually breaking that code. We might actually have to actually figure it out by hand. The path opens out into a large clearing. You notice strange claw prints in the earth. Cran have landed here. By the number of prints and by the size of the area disturbed, you judge that at least 5 of the foul creatures landed here in the last 12 hours. You see 2 exits, west and south. Let's go west. Path gradually narrows until it disappears completely into a mass of dense vegetation. You cannot go any further on this route, and therefore you must return to the clearing. Okay. The path... Okay, we've been here before. So you could just keep going west and back to heal, back to full. Which I would totally do, except we're already at full. Oh, well, we'll heal next turn, so we'll go south. You walk along this path for over an hour, carefully watching the sky above you in case the Crown attack again. Up ahead, a large tree has fallen across the path. As you approach, you can hear voices coming from the other side of the massive trunk. I'll listen to the voices. Now that you are closer, you can make out that the voices are not human. The sound is more like a kind of grunting and squeaking. Are they mice? We do have animal kinship. You recognize the language to be that of the Kakarmi, an intelligent race of forest animals that live in and care for the forests of Summerland. You have nothing to fear from these creatures as they are very timid and gentle in their behavior. Using your skill of animal kinship, you call to them in your strange native tongue. Do not be afraid, I am a friend. Sure, let's say that. Oh, they're like little, spider monkeys. 2 furry faces appear over the top of the trunk. Both pairs of eyes stare at your weapon, and the 2 creatures let out a shriek of fright. Leaping from the trunk, they disappear into the forest. I mean you no harm. Let's run after them, waving our weapon. The Kakami disappear into the dense undergrowth, and you soon find yourself lost. After nearly 2 hours of walking, you hear the sound of running water. You decide to investigate a little closer. Eventually, you come to the edge of a fast-flowing icy stream. The white water cascades over the mossy rocks and disappears towards the east. Yeah, follow the stream. It's good to stay close to streams, I think. Carefully, you follow the stream as it makes its way towards the east. Suddenly, you notice something in the distance that brings you to a halt. Lying in the rushing water like a great black dam is a dead Kran. You creep nearer under cover of the foliage until you see 3 arrows deep in the beast's chest. Trapped beneath the beast is the body of its rider. It is a Jiak, a spiteful and malicious servant of the Dark Lords. Many centuries ago, their ancestors were used by the Dark Lords to build the infernal city of Helgadad, which lies in the volcanic wastelands beyond the Durnkrag range of mountains. The construction of the city was a long and torturous nightmare, and only the strongest Jiaks survive the heat and poisonous atmospheres of Helgadad. This creature is a descendant of these Jiak slaves. It seems that this one must have drowned. The Jiak's pouch contains 3 gold crowns. So Jiaks use gold as currency as well. Convenient. I've already it's taken the money. Okay. Yeah, keep following the stream. You've reached a small bridge. I think I've been here before. A track follows the stream towards the east. A much narrower path disappears into thick forest towards the south. Probably went east before. Let's go south. Oh, the refugees. Should we join the refugees? Let's see. We've got full health. This time. Could actually save the children. Should we make up for what happened last time? Alright, so we join the refugees. Blah blah blah. Kran, hide yourselves! This is gonna end up playing out like that film, Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise movie, where we know what happens at every turn, and each time we're just repeating the same day over and over again. If you wish to help the children, we will help the children. You sprint towards the wagon. People are running everywhere in panic as the Kran make their attack, carrying their poor victims off into the darkening sky. A large Kran is hovering above the wagon, and 3 snarling Jiaks drop from its back onto the startled horses. You must fight them or leave the wagon and run to the safety of a nearby farmhouse. Yes, we will fight them. The ghoulish creatures thrust their spears at you and attack. Fight these creatures as a single enemy. Oh, nice. Combat ratio 1, that's pretty good. Dead. If you win, you can run to the safety of the farmhouse by turning to... Right. Let's do that. Kicking open the door, you dive into the farmhouse. A Kran soars overhead, letting out a shriek of victory, a victim hanging in its claws. Getting to your feet, you find yourself alone, but propped against the fireplace is a warhammer. You may take this weapon if you wish. We don't have skill in it. We have skill in mace. Leave it. Can't pick it up, can we? Can we search the room further? Most of the cupboards and drawers are empty. Whoever lived here took nearly everything they owned with them, but you do manage to scrape together enough fruit in the cellar for 1 meal. Nice. We haven't eaten much in this game. Like, I can only remember ever eating a meal like once. So food doesn't actually seem that important so far, and even if you can't feed yourself, all that happens is you lose 3 health. But if you're healing, if you have healing skill, then you would regain that 3 health over the course of 3 turns anyway. So maybe food is not that important. Like, you could even just not carry meals and just starve if you want to. But your healing would hopefully balance out. But there might be some events where it could matter more. I don't know. After nearly an hour, the Kran and their cruel riders vanish towards... Oh. Alright, we've met with the King's Guard. Let's see. So if we're gonna fight to defend the prince, it's quite a tough fight. if we choose to run into the forest, we die. Full stop. So if we're going with this guy, we will be fighting, and it was a pretty tough fight. Do we stand a chance? We will have 25 by the time we get there. Combat skill will be 4 better than it was last time I tried this. We don't have the skill we want. We're using Mind Shield. I think that might help. We'll try it. So we call them. We accept the offer. And now we're fighting this thing. I think it'll be like a -6 or something. Oh, that's gonna be quite bad still. Alright, yes, we will defend it. We can't run into the forest, we just die if we do that. Oh, he's got 30 health at -4 ratio. That's quite... Well, there's a sword on the floor, but we don't... We want a mace. The Mind Shield doesn't help here. He's not using Mind Blast. Alright, let's fight. Nice. That's tipped in our favor, heavily. Oh! Crit. Alright, we've got this, I think. Yeah. We're on 8. Ooh. Fuck. He was on 1 health. Damn. We had the edge there, but... Oh boy. Eventually we'll probably have read every page there is in the book. Alright. 3. Not great. I guess we want to avoid combat again. Endurance is alright, I guess. Alright. Let's choose 6th Sense, maybe? We don't really want to fight. We'll choose Healing. But we kind of get forced to fight sometimes, so I'll take it to weapon skill anyway. Spear. Well, we know where we can get a spear. I don't remember how to get there, though. 1, 2, 3... We never use this telekinesis thing, we'll take it, why not? Let's go with, I don't know, tracking. We got an axe! No, you always get an axe, I keep forgetting. No, what was our skill? Spear, damn it. Alright, so I got all the things we can get here. Hello, cat peasant. Alright, so we don't have good combat this time. It's like almost every time before. Alright. But a lot more serious. Oh, you actually played it. Alright, nice. Do you remember much of it? Did you get far into it? I never played it as a kid, I never knew about it. I played a different one, a sci-fi game, which I don't remember the name of, and I'll have to try and track it down. Have you ever tried this web version? Because it's... pretty good. Last time I did this, I used the browser version, which is also on the Project Aeon website, but this web app is a bit better. Alright. We've died 5 times. This is hard. First time I played this, I did it first try. I beat the first book first try. Alright, Sixth Sense. Basically not rereading the pages that I've been on before, so I'm kind of just skipping through them. So Sixth Sense means we can now choose to head south or cut through the heavy foliage. Let's go south. Then we hide from the big flying thing. We can use tracking here. Fresh paw prints leading off along the south path. These are the prints of a black bear, an animal renowned for its ferocity. Alright. If I had animal kinship? No, it didn't give me the option, so... Ah, we've been here before. So we talk to the guys, talk to the people. So yeah, we just have a chat, and then we just carry on. Alright, so we've been here before, and then we get to a bridge, use the Sixth Sense. Your common sense tells you that the south is also the quickest route to the capital, but it's where a fierce battle is raging. We want to avoid battle, kind of suck at combat. We'll go east. The path joins another one running north to south. Let's try going north this time. You reach a small clearing in the woods. A bench carved from a fallen tree is set in the center of the clearing. You are hungry and must now eat a meal here. Sure. When you're finished, if you decide to leave the clearing by the south way... Well, would that not take us back to where we were? Oh, it's probably a different way. Or if you prefer the smaller track that leads eastwards into the forest. Sure, let's go there. You follow the rough track for nearly an hour when you notice ahead of you another wider path branching off towards the south. Sure. We'll go south. The path meanders between several small wooded hills and eventually leads to a ruined log cabin. It seems that it had burnt down not so long ago, for the ashes are still warm and a haze of smoke still lingers. You sense possible danger here. You may leave by the south route. Okay, we'll go there. You follow the track for nearly an hour when you come to a crossroads. I don't know. In general, we're trying to go southeast-ish, aren't we? Like, we start at the monastery. Home God is there, so we kind of go like this somewhere. Let's go... south. Oh, the refugees. Alright, so if we join them, then we can fight to save the children. Is that a good outcome? Yeah. Alright, so we join the refugees. We will help the children. Let's change the music to this. I think, yeah, ratio -2, not too bad, we can win. Oh, wow, critted on the first turn. Okay, they're dead. Run to the farmhouse. Take the warhammer. We need a spear though. I don't remember where the spear was. It was in the charcoal hut. Charcoal burner's hut. Search the room further. I think we find a meal, don't we? There we go. and then we meet these King's Guard. So if we go with the King's Guard, we have to fight that boss, and at this combat, we don't want to do that. So for the first time, I'm gonna ignore them and I mean, we could still meet them, but then choose not to go with them. Let's do that. I mean, it's worth meeting him to tell him what's happening. So we meet him, but decline his offer. Right. Night is starting to close in. The shadows of the forest are growing longer and darker. Just as you're about to stop and rest, you see through the trees a line of people moving south along a wide highway. Moving closer, you notice a large merchant's caravan in the center of the dusty turnpike. It is drawn by 6 large horses and is moving much faster than any of the other traffic. This could be a chance to reach the capital as quickly as possible. Damn. We took camouflage so many times, but we didn't this time. Jump on. The caravan careers past, you leap for the tailboard and manage to hold fast. Pulling yourself upright, you find that you are standing on the bottom rung of a ladder leading to the rear door of the wagon. Suddenly, the top half of the door flies open and you're confronted by the angry face of a bodyguard. We should just be honest and tell him the truth. We have an urgent message for the king. The bodyguard looks at you with great suspicion and slams the door. You can hear voices chattering inside the caravan. Suddenly the door swings open and the face of a wealthy merchant appears. He recognizes your Kai cloak and apologizes for his servant's behavior. He says that they have been attacked several times since they left Toran, by Kran, by bandits, and by robbers. They thought you may have been a bandit. Inside the caravan is full of silks and spices. The merchant offers you food, which you gratefully accept. After your sumptuous meal, the fatigue of your ordeal finally overcomes you and you slip into a deep sleep. You are woken by the cries of a Kran circling above the caravan. It is early morning and the sky is clear and bright. You can see a pack of doom wolves less than a quarter of a mile away along the highway ahead. They are preparing to attack. You must attack quickly. You decide to gather your equipment and run for the cover of trees, or we can decide to cut free one of the horses and try to break through the attacking doom wolves to the clear road beyond. Like, would we not just stick with the caravan? Isn't this the safest place? Break through the attacking doom wolves? Like, if we manage to do that, then we'll have a horse. But a bunch of doom wolves are going to take down a horse. Is this actually going to work? We're on full health, so... I don't know. Let's try and do that. We'll take the horse. You manage to free a horse from the straps, securing it to the caravan. It is frightened by the scent of the approaching doom wolves and the cries of their evil riders, the Jiaks. Preparing your weapon, you spur your skittish horse towards the oncoming beasts. They are less than 50 yards away, and they are lowering their lances at you as they get nearer and nearer. This is a mistake. What are we doing? You're charging head-on towards each other. You see the razor-fanged mouth of a doom wolf and hear the hideous cries of the Jiaks. 2 of them are coming straight for you. You are saved from certain death when your horse jumps at the approaching beasts, knocking them both to the ground. Nice! You lash out at the Jiak and open a large wound in his head. And then suddenly, as if by a miracle, you're through and racing on down the highway, clear of the rest of the pack. But a shadow follows you. It is a Kran and it has started to dive. Its target is you. Go for the trees. I mean, the Jiak don't like the forests either, because they're mountain folk, so... Yeah, let's go for the trees. You are at the very edge of the wood when your horse rears up in agony. The crown has sunk its claws deep into the horse's hind legs and is trying to knock you to the ground with its wings. The ghoulish Jack Rider squeals with delight as he stabs you with his spear. You jump to the ground and dash for the trees, leaving the poor dying horse in the clutches of the crown. The forest here is sparse and hilly. It does not give much cover from an attack from the air. You move as quickly as you can from tree to tree to avoid the crown, but you can hear the sound of doom wolves close behind. Damn it, like we didn't take the camouflage for once, and now we've had 2 opportunities to use it. This is not going to go well. You turn to face a sneering Jiak and the razor-fanged jaws of its mouth. You must fight them as one enemy. -2 is not too bad, to be honest. Let's go. Yeah, the horse died. Oh, a crit! Good. Evens. Alright, we run this. Nice. What are we on? 15 health, not too bad. You quickly move off into the forest before more doom wolves or crown appear. You have walked for more than an hour when you reach the top of a rocky hill. The sight that befalls you on the other side is one of hope, but there's also a daunting challenge to be faced. You can see the tall grey-white walls and glimmering spires of Holmgard, its banners fluttering from the battlements in the fresh morning breeze. Stretching out towards the west, the river Eladil traces its course from the mountains of the Dernkrag range to the Holmgulf. But from below the mountain peaks, you can see a vast black army marching relentlessly on towards the city. To your right, you can see the highway heading off over the rolling plain towards Holmgard. At a run, you could reach the outer fieldworks of the city defenses in an hour, but you would be in the open for most of the time and vulnerable to attack by Crown. However, ahead of you, a wide and muddy river drifts sluggishly towards the Eladil. Do you have a link for the web version you're using? Yep. This site. Paste it in chat. Yeah, and there's also like an older browser version, which is also, you can just search Project Aeon, and that also lets you download the books and manually turn to pages and stuff. It gives you more manual control, but this one kind of auto calculates stuff for you. County Macula, thanks for the raid. What were you doing? I'm doing something a bit different today. I'm playing some gamebook stuff. I don't know if you've ever played one of these old gamebooks. This one's from 1984, but generally it was like a roleplay thing where you would read the book. Like there were these choose your own adventure books, but that's a trademark. And I think the choose your own adventure books were less kind of roleplay focused and more like just turn to this page to turn here. But in these books, you keep track of all your stats and your inventory and stuff, so it plays out a bit like almost like a kind of like a D&D sort of thing. But pretty fun. We've died 5 times this session. It's pretty tough. Looks cool. Are you winning? Well, this run is the furthest I've gotten so far. We might be towards the end of the book, of which there are like 20 more books after this. The whole series goes in sequence, so you can kind of carry forward your inventory and your skills and stuff to the next books. But you die a lot. Fabled Lands. I haven't heard of it. I mean, when I was a kid, I had one sci-fi book, and that was like the only one I really played. And I don't know the name, and I'm gonna have to try and find it. But that's pretty cool as well, because you had like a science officer, and you had to choose like a bodyguard, and then you had to keep the stats for them, and you'd basically travel around space and go on adventures and stuff. This one is like released to the public, so like it's legal to play the online version, and it's like the author has given permission for like this web app to be made. In fact, I just pasted it in chat. I'll do it again. So you can actually play this web app, and it auto-calculates stuff for you. But if you want to play the book manually, you can also just use the browser version, which is also somewhere. ProjectAeon.org, and you can play it manually. Also, in these books, they had this weird RNG system, which I'm not using, where you were supposed to kind of hold a pencil above a grid of numbers and go plop, and then wherever your pencil landed, that was the number you were supposed to use. Here we're just letting the computer calculate our dice rolls. But Fabled Land is like an open world version of this, where each book would cover an area. There was a Steam version that can be purchased. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look up more of these, because not many of them were ever made digital, so like either you have to find the old book and just like, I don't know, scan it, or try to play it using a PDF of it or something, or I try to find things like this where people have actually made digital versions. So where are we now? In this book, we're trying to get from the Kai Monastery to Holmgard, which is just here on the left side of the map. I think we have Holmgard in our sights right now, so this is as far as we got. The basic rundown of the story is we are of the Kai monks, and our monastery was attacked, and we were the only survivor because we were out collecting firewood or something, and we had to run to the king to warn him that a dark army, the Dark Lords, is approaching from... where did they say? From, I don't know, from behind these mountains somewhere. Yeah, probably. We've got a bunch of skills. You can choose different skills each time you replay the book. Got an axe and a warhammer, but we're not skilled with either of these, so... what we need right now is a spear. Alright. I already read this out, didn't I? I read as far as... okay, second paragraph. To your right, you can see the highway heading off over the rolling plain towards Holmgard. At a run, you could reach the outer fieldworks of the city defenses in an hour, but you would be in the open for most of the time and vulnerable to attack by Kran. However, ahead of you, a wide and muddy river drifts sluggishly towards the Eladil. You could use the cover of the riverbanks and swim towards the capital. Or, towards your left, lies the graveyard of the ancients. These tombs and crumbling monuments to a forgotten age would conceal your approach, but it is a forbidden area. Many are the unnamed horrors that lie in there, restless sleep, waiting to consume the unwary trespasser. Okay, so we just run on the open highway, where we can probably get attacked by those flying things. We swim in the river. I'd go for the river. Yeah, let's go for the river. Peering over the steep undercut of the riverbank, you can see a tangle of driftwood along the water's edge. A large tree trunk has grounded on the clay bank next to a small canoe. Oh, we found a canoe. Well, that'll be useful. If you wish to use the log to float down the river, or use the canoe. Wait, what? Oh, use the log. Surely we use the canoe. Like, why would we ever choose the log over the canoe? I'll choose the canoe. It is a small one-man canoe in very poor condition. The wood is split. Oh, well, a canoe could leak. That's an issue. The wood is split and warped, and the craft appears to be leaking in several places. You quickly patch up the worst of the holes with some clay and bail out the water. This seems to stop the leaking for a moment. Stowing your equipment at the bow, you set off downstream using a piece of driftwood as a paddle. After a short while, you hear the sound of horses galloping towards you along the left bank. Sure. We have this sixth sense ability, so let's always use it. Why not? Your senses reveal that more than just horses are heading towards you. You can just make out the very high shrieks of Jiak war cries in the distance. By the number of cries and curses, you estimate that there are over a dozen Jiaks, and probably Doomorphs as well. Well, okay, we're dead if they catch up to us. You decide that advertising your existence is perhaps not quite such a good idea after all. Good, because I was actually gonna call out to them. Peering out carefully, you can see 3 green-clad men on horses racing along the bank. You recognize them as Border Rangers, the regiment of the King's army that police the western borders. One of them is wounded and is slumped over the neck of his horse. Close behind follow a pack of 20 Doomwolves. Their Jiak riders are firing arrows at the Rangers, which fall all around them. One Ranger drops from his horse and rolls down the riverbank, a black arrow deeply embedded in his right leg. If you wish to help the Ranger, or do you wish to stay hidden and drift downstream? Or we're gonna do what we did with the kids that were being killed by the flying things and bravely run away. I think so. This doesn't sound like a battle we can win. Even with these Rangers on our side. How many are there? There's 2 Rangers that are like combat ready. Here's the minstrels. I'll bravely turn my tail and flee. Brave Sir Hextree ran away. After nearly half an hour, you feel the current getting stronger. Looking out across the surface, you can see that you're approaching a whirlpool in the middle of a large river bend. You'll surely drown if caught in its current, so you quickly swim towards the right-hand riverbank and continue your mission on foot, carrying all of your equipment. It's working out so far. You walk for nearly an hour along the twisting river's edge. Beyond the next turn, you can hear the faint noise of battle. Carefully climb a steep hillock to get a better view of the area. The outer fieldworks of the city can now be seen. Oh, we're really close to the city now. Drawn across the river is a line of barges chained together to form a floating barricade. You can also see soldiers running along the log walls of the fieldworks, and you can hear the faint noise of battle drifting from the west. Yeah, let's approach the barges. Like, the more soldiers we can be with, the better our chances, I would say. You've been spotted by the guards who level their crossbows at you. Well, I mean, we're not their enemy. They're being attacked by these monsters, so I don't think they're actually going to shoot us. Let's raise our hands above our head and walk slowly towards them. 2 soldiers and a sergeant run towards you, their crossbows aimed at your head. As they get nearer, they recognize your Kai cloak, and a look of relief spreads across their faces. "My lord," says the sergeant, "where are the other Kai masters? We are in desperate need of their wisdom. The Dark Lords press us most cruelly, and our casualties are high." You inform the brave soldier of the fate of your kinsman, and the urgency of your mission to see the king. Oh yeah, so all the Kai died, basically. We're the only one left. And the Kai masters were the ones that were supposed to kind of like lead the armies. He takes you back to the barges where an officer accompanies you on horseback towards the high walls and the main gate of Holmgard. We're almost there. You reach the main gates of the capital and stare in awe. Let's change the music as well. Tavern music. Let's go with that. 200 feet high, the walls of Holmgard have withstood the ravages of both time and the Dark Lords. You and the officer race through the tunnel of the inner gatehouse, 100 yards in length, and finally halt outside the doorway of the main watchtower. Great crowds of soldiers and civilians are running to and fro. We'll stick with the officer, why not? Staying close to the officer, you follow him through an arched portal and up a short flight of stairs to a long hall. Soldiers run back and forth, bearing orders on ornate scrolls to officers stationed around the city wall. A haggard and scar-faced man, dressed in the white and purple robes of the king's court, approaches you and bids you follow him to the citadel. Sure. Everyone's been, like, reasonable so far, so we'll comply. You follow the man into a small library of the main hall. He pushes one of the many books on the shelves, which line all four walls, and you hear a metallic click. One section of the bookcase slowly slides back to reveal a hidden passage. Alright, now I'm starting to get suspicious. No, I don't feel safe now. Let's abandon this guy. You fight your way through the press of bodies along the main street towards the citadel in the distance. City folk are rushing to and fro in the grip of panic as the cries of Kran are heard circling high above. In the crush, one item is stolen from your backpack. If you no longer have a backpack... So we're supposed to lose an item from our backpack. Or if we have no backpack items, you lose a weapon. Wait, do we have backpack items? 3. So we lose a meal. Okay, we lose a meal. That's on the floor now. A runway horse and cart career past and knock you into a doorway. You are stunned and lose 2 endurance points. As you stagger to your feet, the door bursts open and a decrepit old man attacks you with a meat cleaver. What? Everyone's attacking us. The monsters are attacking us. This old man's attacking us. He is quite insane and you must fight him or take evasive action. What if you're really peckish when you're talking to the king? Yeah, well, you never know. You choose to fight, or if you wish to evade a fight. This guy with a cleaver? I mean, he doesn't seem that well equipped, and he's an old man. What are we... How healthy are we? Why is he at... Also, we need to change the music to be more... We've got 2 Witcher songs, one for fighting monsters, one for fighting humans. We're playing this is the human song. And as Geralt said, he has a silver sword for monsters, steel sword for humans, both for monsters. I feel like we'd beat him, but I don't... What's going on here? Why is he... Is he... Maybe he's... Maybe the Dark Lords have, like, used their mind powers on him and made him insane or something? It's a coin to your Witcher to pay your minstrels when you run away, yeah. Alright, we'll just evade the fight. Like, I don't want to fight this guy. You quickly escape from the madman and dodge along a dark alleyway where the houses are small and cramped together. At the very end is a green door with a sign above it that says Holani Sage or Herbalist. Sure, let's enter it. We're not being combative right now. Let's change music. The small shop is dark and musty. Books and bottles of every size and color fill the many shelves. As you close the door, a small black dog begins to yap at you. A bold man appears from behind a large screen and bids you welcome. He politely inquires as to the nature of your visit and offers you a choice of his wares from the glass counter. If you have the kind discipline of 6 cents, you must use it. You don't even have a choice. Okay, we use it. You can sense that there is someone else behind the screen. There is a lingering aura of wickedness around this shop. Be on your guard, something is wrong here. Right, we leave. Let's leave. For what seems an eternity, the rush of the crowd carries you along like a leaf on a fast-flowing stream. You desperately fight to stay on your feet, but you feel weak and dizzy from your ordeal, and your legs are as heavy as lead. Suddenly you catch a glimpse of a long, narrow stone stairway that leads up to the roof of an inn. Gathering the last reserves of your strength, you dive for the stairs and climb slowly up to the top. Is this just from exhaustion from, like, just the whole journey we've had, I guess? Not from something specific recent. No, I think it's just from the whole journey, we're just tired. Gathering the last reserves of your strength, you dive for the stairs and climb slowly up to the top. From here, you can see the magnificent view of the rooftops and spires of Holmgard, with the high stone walls of the citadel gleaming in the sun. Okay. The houses and buildings of the capital are built very close to each other, and it is possible to jump from one roof to the next. In fact, many of the citizens of Holmgard used to use the roofways, as they are known, when the heavy autumn rains made the unpaved parts of the streets too muddy for walking. But after many accidents, a royal decree forbade their use. After careful thought, you decide to use the roofways as they are your only chance of reaching the king. Wait, why? The city is being attacked by flying winged creatures, right? That's the... Well, that was just something that happened earlier. Why do we want to go on the rooftops? Why can't we just go on the street? I guess because it's just chaotic and people are just being attacked by ground troops as well. Alright, whatever. Maybe roofways is the better way to go. You have hopped, skipped, and jumped across several streets, and you are only one street away from the citadel when you come to the end of a row of rooftops. The jump to the next row is much further than anything you've tried before, and your stomach begins to feel as if it were full of butterflies. Can we just go to the street at this point? Determined to reach the citadel, you turn and take a long run up to the jump. With blood pounding in your ears, you sprint to the edge of the roof and leap into space. Your eyes fixed on the opposite rooftop. Pick a number from the random number table. 1. Uh-oh. This is probably the bad one. Come on. It's just insta-death? It doesn't just hurt us? You fly in an arc through the air towards the opposite roof. Everything seems to be happening in slow motion. You see the teeming crowds below in the street and a nest of Cali sparrows in the eaves of a roof to your right. You hear their startled cries as you land with a crash on the other side, but it is the last sound that you will ever hear. The tiles splinter and collapse and you fall through the 4 floors of the Green Slipper Inn, breaking your back in several places. Your mission and your life end here. Sometimes it's really annoying when they take away too much choice. Like, I would not want to make that jump. Couldn't they have just gone back to the street and dealt with whatever was down there? Man, we got so far. I feel like we were probably just a few pages away from winning. Try again? We're on 6 deaths now. Alright. Oh dear. Alright. Starting again. So let's go through all this stuff again. So we roll for combat. 7. Pretty good. Roll for endurance. 3. Below average. What should we choose? If we could make it as far as the king's guard, then camouflage will help us. So let's take camouflage. Hope we can get that far again. 6 senses just always good. Let's take that. Healing, weapon skill, short sword. I don't think I ever found a short sword. Technically, you can uncheck weapon skill once you know what you've rolled. That's cheating, though. I don't know. Animal kinship, like, it came up several times, but it never really helped us so far. I think if we're trying to be a bit optimal now, like trying to end this once and for all, it would be these options and... maybe Mind Blast, because it does basically give you +2 combat skill anytime the enemy is not immune, and that does actually happen sometimes, so... Alright, we'll go with Mind Blast. I mean, this is the best combat skill we've had so far, isn't it? So we'll go all in on combat. Alright, that's 5. So we roll for money. We get 9 gold crowns, that's maximum. Roll for an item. Sword! Oh, we needed a short sword. Alright. And... begin. Alright, so... I'm not going to reread these pages, so basically we start, we can use 6th Sense to discover a new path, cut through the heavier foliage, we hide from the flying thing, carry on, we meet the magician, or the wizard, or I don't know what the term is for this guy, sorcerer. It's a wizard. So we can, I think the good option is to chuck the marble and kill the jack. Let's do that. Roll. Oh, we got a bad roll, I think. We miss. So now we fight the jack. Oh, okay, we've got this. This one's easy. Just as the jack makes his leap, you race forward and strike out with your weapon, knocking the creature away from the young wizard's back. You jump onto the struggling jack and strike again. Due to the surprise of your attack, add 4 points to your combat skill for the duration of this fight, but remember to deduct it again as soon as the fight is over. Combat ratio plus 14, that's insane. Is that the highest you can possibly have? Well, there's no... it's above... it's that column, basically, 11 or greater. Like, we'll insta-kill him if we roll 7+ on any dice roll. 8+ on any dice roll. Okay. Alright. One-shotted him. Nice. Killed him so quickly I didn't even have time to change the music to the combat music. Yeah, so we've been on this page before. So the rest run away. Then we talk to the wizard. Whole lot of text here. He says, thank you for saving me. He is a member of the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star, which is a magician's guild. He was supposed to come to our monastery to warn us, but the monastery's all dead now, so he gives us the Crystal Star pendant, which could be useful. And we carry on. And then he goes. And we go without him. We'll go through the forest to escape the Jacks. They chase us, and then we lose them. And then we encounter the Sleep Tooth. Oh, last time we had the tracking. We'll avoid Sleep Tooth. It seems dangerous. We'll go back to the track. Approach the huts. We find a spear, but we're not trained in spears. What are we? Short sword. Oh fuck, the bird. Uh-oh. Alright, so this bird leads us to this guy. We know he's evil. First time I met him, I approached him, and then he just insta-killed us. We didn't even have combat, it's just like, no, you're dead. Another time I fought him and I actually won. Alright, we'll draw a weapon and attack. Nice, we've got combat ratio 4, so pretty good. I think we'll win. Put the music on this time. Ooh! Crit on the first hit. No, that wasn't a crit. That is a crit. Wait, why did Zero do more? No, I mean, why did Zero do less? Wait, so 9... Well, let's have a look at the table. So we're on combat ratio 0. Oh, because on the first turn we had a bonus, but we didn't have that for the remaining turns. Okay. We didn't even get hurt. And then, so we take the gem. It hurts us, but we get the gem. And then we are running from these Jacks. We get hurt a bit, but we keep going. And then the tunnel. We're healthy, so we should probably go in the tunnel, because I remember we fight that thing and we win. Let's go through the tunnel. This thing's easy. Dead. Although we did actually get hurt a bit. Can take the dagger. I'll drop the sword, because we're not skilled in sword. I don't know why, I just like having a dagger on me. We get 20 crowns as well, nice. And then the refugees, oh. Can we save the children? Yeah, we could probably save the children. Okay, so we're fighting the Jacks that are attacking the children, and we win, and we save them. Run to the farmhouse. There's a Warhammer, we don't want it. Search the room, there's a meal. We get the meal. I'm gonna know the whole book off by heart eventually. And then we meet Kingsguard. Okay. Now, if we go with them, we fight that guy, and he's really tough. And even though we've got good combat skill, I still think we aren't good enough. Like, we're not skilled in the weapons we have. So we'll still meet them, but we'll decline their offer. Now we can use camouflage, which we didn't have before, to hide in the carriage. Maybe this will take us all the way to the city. Alright. You pull yourself to the top of the opulent caravan and nestle among the traveling cases and bags. Night will soon engulf the highway. A chill wind blows from the west, and you pull your cloak around yourself to keep warm. You listen to the voices below, and you can smell the mouth-watering aroma of spiced meat. It reminds you that you are very hungry and must now take a meal. Sure. Eat a meal. You are woken by the cries of a crane circling above the caravan. It is early morning and the sky is clear and bright. You can see a pack of doomwolves less than a quarter of a mile away along the highway ahead. They are preparing to attack. You must attack quickly. The last time we used the horse to try to break out. Let's do that again. Take the horse. We charge head on to the wolves, but we actually jump over them. And then the Quran is diving to attack us. Now, last time I went into the trees, but it still killed our horse. So I think our horse is probably going to get killed either way. I don't know. I'm going to press on. Right. Behind you, you can hear the blood-crazy Jiaks killing the caravan horses. You risk a quick glance over your shoulder and you see a crown starting to climb high into the air. Will it attack you, or is it interested in something else? The dark shadow that is gradually getting larger all around you tells you that you are its intended victim. The crown is diving full speed at you. If you wait until it is about to strike and then jump on the saddle to 84, if you head as fast as you can for the trees, or if you put your head down, pray for the heavens for good luck and gallop on regardless. Ooh. Like, I'm worried that the crown is just going to insta-kill us if it attacks us, so our best chance is probably jumping from the saddle. And that's probably going to kill the horse. Like, option 2 and 3 are basically the same, but one is putting your head down. So I feel like that might be the better one. But it could be a troll. Oh, I don't know. There's so many insta-kills in these games, which are annoying. Alright, should we do that? Pull up, put our head down. Off. It would seem that the heavens have not heard your prayers. A spear whistles past your head and embeds itself in the neck of your galloping horse. With a shriek of pain, the horse topples forward, and the horse dies anyway, and you both roll in a tangled heap on the highway. Dazed and pinned down by the weight of the dead body of your horse, the last thing you remember is the sharp, penetrating spearheads of the Jiak Lancers. You have failed in your mission. Oh my god. I don't think there's any way to actually save the horse. I should have jumped from the horse. What was the other option? To, just gallop fast. That went to a different page, but I bet that still kills you. For goodness sake. Come on. We've got to beat this book. At the end of the stream. We're on 7 deaths. Alright. Combat 6, that's decent. Endurance 7, okay. This is probably pretty good. Camouflage 6%. I'm mostly settled on these skills now. Mace. Not once have we ever been skilled in the weapon we carry. Camouflage 6 healing. Skill mace and Mind Blast again, I guess. Just go all in on combat. Six. Is that? We should try taking on that like mega boss that's fighting the prince. Like that, if we can actually beat him, that might be a really good outcome. But what would we need for that? So he's immune to Mind Blast. Probably don't want to take a Mind Blast. Mind Shield? I don't think he really... Well, take Mind Shield, but I don't think... I don't think Mind Shield's that good. Like, it saves a few endurance points probably, but it's not like a game changer. I think some of these other skills are a bit more game changing. I don't know. Mind over matter. We haven't seen that come up, but whatever. Maybe it'll come up. Alright, go. 6 gold crowns. Helmet. That just adds 2 endurance. That's not that good. Alright. Why would we not be carrying... Like, at the start... Like, why would we not be equipping the weapon that we're skilled in if we're, like, training at the monastery? Like, why are we carrying an axe? We've never been skilled in axes. Alright. 6 cents. Go through the foliage. Going... Meet the wizard. Let's chuck a rock. We hit the jack. They all run away. Wizard gives us the pendant. Carry on. We've never climbed this hill, but I think it's a bad idea. We'll go to the forest. Return to the track. Approach the huts. There's a spear, which is useless. And then there's the bird. Should we fight the guy again? I think we're good enough. Yeah, draw your weapon and attack. Oh, Mind Shield would have actually been useful here. Combat ratio 1, that's alright. I think we'll win. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Crit. Right. Take the gem. Although we're quite hurt. Oh, we're on 23. We're not that hurt. And then we get hurt by them. Tunnel. Yeah, we should take on the thing in the tunnel. Into the tunnel. Fight this guy. Dead. Dagger. We can pick it up. Carry on. Alright. Join the refugees. Yeah, do all the same things. Join the refugees, help the children, fight the jacks, win. Oh, wow, they're really hurting us. Then run to the farmhouse. Warhammer. Basically every weapon we're not skilled in. Don't bother taking it then. Search the room further for the meal. 21. And then... Alright, King's Guard. We're quite hurt. Alright. Let's... Oh, so we meet him. Decline his offer. Sneak aboard. Eat a meal. Alright. Let's do this again. Ride the horse. Do that. We'll gallop flat down the highway. And this time we jump off the saddle. Just as you feel the air beating on your back, you slip free of your horse and roll over, landing with a splash in a muddy ditch by the side of the highway. You are uninjured and you quickly scramble to your feet and make a dash for the cover of the trees, but with 30 yards left to run, you see the Crown circling above for another dive. We're kind of in combat here. Let's change the music. You can see the shadow of the Crown getting larger all around you. It suddenly strikes, pitching you forward onto your face with the power of its attack. Pick a number. You drop back. We lost the backpack and all the equipment that was inside it. Fuck. That means we can't have items except from like the weapons and special items. Oh, great. We literally can't pick up things now. You'll be wounded in both arms, lose 3 endurance points and run to the trees. The forest here is sparse and hilly. It does not give much cover from an attack from the air. You move as quickly as you can from tree to tree to avoid the Crown, but you can hear the sound of doom orbs close behind. You have the kite... yeah, use camouflage. You make full use of your kite discipline and quickly burrow deep into the loose earth of the wooded hillside. Covering yourself with your cloak, you pull a loose branch across your hastily dug shelter. You turn to face a sneering Jack and the razor-fanged jaws of its mount. You must fight them as one enemy. Well, I didn't hide very well, did I? What have we got? Okay, we're healthy again. Nice. We'll probably win this. We are getting quite hurt though. Okay, we win. You quickly move off into the forest before more doom orbs or Crown appear. You have walked for more than 1 hour when you reach the top of a rocky hill. The sight that befalls you on the other side is one of hope, but there's also a daunting challenge to be faced. Alright, so we see the city. Should we go on the river again? That was where the canoe was. That worked out. Yeah, let's do that. We'll take the canoe. Use the 6th sense. Well, we already know what the sense is. We'll just hide in the canoe this time, see what happens. Oh, it takes us to this scene. Okay. So we'll drift downstream. Then we end up climbing a hill, and then we reach the barges. We approach the barges. Let's raise our hands, walk slowly towards them, and then they bring us to home guard. So continue following the officer. Why can't we stay with the officer? So we can follow this man, but I think he's suspicious, so we don't want to follow him. Return to the crowded streets. Why do we lose the officer when we do this? Alright. Okay, so then we end up here. You lose a weapon. Alright. Well, we'll lose... dagger, I suppose. Healthy, we could fight the insane guy with the meat cleaver. Oh wow. The wild old man. Okay, we have to change the music to the fighting humans music. The Wild Old Man is screaming at you. He blames you for the war and curses the Kai Lords as agents of the Dark Lords. He will not listen to reason and you must fight him. Insta-kill. The madman lies dead at your feet. 2 soldiers appear at the doorway and immediately congratulate you. They tell you that he was an escaped lunatic whom they have been tracking for the last 2 days. One of the soldiers gives you 10 gold crowns, reward money, and offers you to escort you to the Citadel. Please, just somebody escort me to the Citadel. Yes, I accept. It takes you nearly an hour to reach the Citadel. When you arrive, you find the citizens of Holmgard are in panic and confusion. Your escort approaches the armored guards at the main entrance and tells them of your urgent message for the king. On here. The guards do not believe your story and refuse to let you enter. Your escort disappears into the crowd and you are left alone to find your way in this confused city. They don't believe my story? Great. Shocked and then dejected by such a rebuff, you are carried along by the crowds until you find yourself at the entrance to the guild hall. It stands at one side of the guild bridge which crosses the river Eladil near where it joins the Holm Gulf. Guild hall. Sure, let's enter the guild hall. Just inside the door, you're stopped by a journeyman of the guild hall and asked to explain your intrusion. You calmly inform him of your urgent message for the king, and he hurries you into the guildmaster's chambers. A distinguished old man in deep purple robes turns to greet you and listens to your story. Taking you by the arm, he leads you into the oh no, this guy again. But he's a journeyman. We know he's a journeyman of the guild hall. Maybe we follow him then. Alright, we follow him. Oh, he was good all along? You walk for nearly 10 minutes along a dark and winding corridor and then start to climb a steep staircase to a small wooden door. The man presses a secret catch and the door opens. You enter a large, plushly decorated bedroom with a huge marble bath that takes up one corner of the room. The man suggests that you refresh yourself here while he seeks an audience with the king. Wow. So, the guy who is wearing the royal cloak actually was trying to help us. He's just sort of, just really shady looking. Well, no, he wasn't shady. It's just the path he was leading us down was kind of dark and scary looking. That's why I fled. Alright, you quickly bathe and change into some white robes that have been left out on a large marble table. Shortly, the man returns and leads you through a long corridor lined with exquisite tapestries. You finally arrive at a large door guarded by 2 soldiers wearing silver armor. You're about to meet the king. You enter the Chamber of State, a magnificent hall decorated lavishly in white and gold. The king and his closest advisors are studying a large map spread upon a marble plinth in the center of the chamber. Their faces are lined with worry and concentration. Silence fills the hall as you tell of the death of your kinsman and of your perilous journey to the Citadel. As you finish your story, the king approaches and takes your right hand in his. Lone Wolf, you have selfless courage, the quality of a true Kai Lord. Dear. Your journey here has been one of great peril, and although your news comes as a grievous blow, the spirit of your determination is like a beacon of hope to us all in this dark hour. You have brought great honor to the memory of your masters, and for that we praise you. You receive the praise and heartfelt thanks of the entire hall, an honor that brings a certain redness to your young face. The king raises his hand, and all the voices cease. You have done all that Summerland could have asked of a loyal son, but she is greatly in need of you still. The Dark Lords are powerful once more, and their ambition knows no bounds. Our only hope lies within Durinor, with the power that once defeated the Dark Lords an age ago. Lone Wolf, you are the last of the Kai. You have the skills. Do I really though? I don't even have the skill in a weapon that I own. It would be really nice if the king would outfit me with a short sword, which is what I have skills in. Will you journey to Doranor and return with the summer sword, the sword of the sun? Only with that gift of the gods may we crush this evil and save our land. If you wish to accept the quest of the summer sword, begin your adventure with Book 2 of the Lone Wolf Adventures. Fire on the Water. Did it! Alright. So the very first time I played this, not only did I beat it on the first try, I can't remember what. I have a YouTube video where I streamed it, so you could check that out at some point and see what the heck I did that managed to beat the game in one. But I probably had good combat score or something. You know, if his name is Lone Wolf, you'd think that would be a warning to the rest of his order. Yeah, you would. Fire on the Water. Is it gonna keep my stats and stuff? I believe I hope they give us a backpack at the very least. Alright, let's go Fire on the Water.